open tomorrow. 5 years from now, we will open. And TCI Bank has become a part of the business fabric of this country, and is here to stay.
The country's first indigenous bank is no more. Today, April 9, 2010, an order for the appointment of a provisional liquidator was made by the Supreme Court of the Turks and Caicos Islands. Appointed is Anthony Kikavarakis and Mark Munnings, partners of Deloitte & Touche, as liquidators for the Turks and Caicos Islands Bank, TCIB. This means that for the time being, at least, TCIB will be closed and account holders will not have access to their funds. The Turks and Caicos Islands Financial Services Commission, FSC, in a release sent to our newsroom moments ago, said they were forced to take this action after the bank suffered a number of significant withdrawals of funds, leaving the bank unable to operate normally and meet its obligations on a timely basis.
The court has ordered that TCI Bank be placed under provisional liquidation, which means that provisional liquidators have been appointed to take responsibility for the institution.
Okay. To your customers and also members of your banks who will have accounts at different levels.
I'm sorry, just to clarify, we are the Financial Services Commission. We regulate the banks. We are not ourselves TCI Bank.
Okay. Okay. Can you tell me what would this mean if I'm a customer of the bank? What does this mean for me?
If you are a borrowing customer, you should continue to make your payments as is normal. If you are a deposit customer, you will have to wait until an independent assessment has been made by the provisional liquidators, and they will then issue a press release regarding timing of payments to deposit customers.
Okay. One of the questions people would ask is, we got this notice well after banking hours today. Was there any way this notice could have been given earlier today, maybe to alert individuals?
No, that is exactly the point, I think. In these cases, notice is given after banks' closing hours to allow time for press releases, interviews, so the public has the facts. The weekend allows the provisional liquidators to go in, make an objective, independent, professional assessment, so that on Monday morning we will know where we stand, or we will have a better idea of where we stand. So that is a standard international practice.
Okay. How long do you expect this inquiry, so to speak, to last?
Well, again, the provisional liquidators will have to make a statement after they've made an assessment. I am not one of the liquidators, so I can't speak to that.
Okay. And I guess my last question. Given the current social climate in the Turks and Caicos Islands, we have special prosecutors and so on going on, interim administration. Is this in any way a reflection of anything that may have occurred?
No. Let me say quite emphatically, this is an economic, commercial matter. You will understand that banks have been experiencing major stresses in the United States, in the UK, all over the world. So it has nothing to do with the political or, as you put it, the social context in which we find ourselves.
Okay, and I guess lastly, I don't know if you're able to answer this, but being the country's lone indigenous bank, as it's always been advertised and highlighted, what does it say for the financial industry of the Turks and Caicos Islands?
Well, I think firstly, we all regret that the indigenous institution has come under particular stresses. There are reasons why indigenous institutions tend to be less able to deal with these kinds of economic stresses than international institutions. But I think in terms of the Turks and Caicos Island jurisdiction, the fact that this particular problem, challenge, has been managed as professionally as it has been managed says that the jurisdiction has matured significantly.
Okay, and lastly, what can you say to the residents of Turks and Caicos Islands who, of course, will be watching this with keen interest?
I think they should cooperate as fully as they can with the provisional liquidators. I think they're going to require some patience, and I think, in the long term, it has to be that we wait for the provisional liquidators to tell us their assessment and where we go from here.
Okay, thank you very much, Kevin, for giving us a call, and we really hope this is worked out sooner than later.
Thank you very much for calling. Yes. Bye-bye.
Okay.
The FSC asked the court to intervene only once it became clear that the board of the TCI Bank was unable to obtain the additional financial support necessary for the bank to continue to trade. The FSC stated that in light of the circumstances, the only solution was to seek a liquidation in order to safeguard the remaining assets and to ensure their fair distribution to creditors. The provisional liquidators have been charged by the court to quickly protest the assets of TCI Bank and explore all avenues available to rescue it. The FSC has asked the liquidators to move as quickly as possible into communicating guidance to account holders, staff, and other creditors, an effort to minimize the inevitable uncertainty that they now face.
What I want to say, but they say they been closed. If they been closed, I want to know what they can say with the people who get our account inside. So them people who got our account inside, they got $2. So how they can find it, they can get the $2 back. That's all I want to say. But I got 3 accounts inside. I got myself and my kids' account. The school open, and so I got school fare to pay, and I got $2 to pay school next week. So I want to get it. I want to know how I could get it to pay my school fare for my kids.
Yes, I'm a concerned citizen of this country, and I want to know what will happen to my money in TCI Bank. Because I have few little dollars in there, my poor girl, so I want to know what's going to happen to us. Talk up, we want to know, them have to come up to tell us what is going on.
As of 4:30 today, I was terminated from my job.
On the announcement, Mr. Sandy Lightburn, chairman of the FSC, said, quote, "It is extremely sad that we have to take this serious step and seek to close down TCI Bank, the country's only indigenous bank. The bank's position as a new and standalone operation has left it very vulnerable to the current global economic downturn. The FSC had been working closely with the bank's current board and management to find a solution to the difficulties, and some progress was being made. But regrettably, it seems that in recent weeks, the bank suffered a growing loss of confidence on the part of some of its important depositors. While efforts were made to find new investors, regrettably, none was forthcoming in the time available. The FSC took the difficult decision to petition the court to close the bank so that its remaining assets could be preserved. Obviously, we must await the conclusions of the provisional liquidators' work, but I am afraid that depositors must expect that they might not be able to recover all their savings." End quote. We will have more on this developing story in our next newscast. For WIV4 News, I'm Takara Bain.